Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today as we get into, I'm going to be honest with you, a video that I almost forgot to do. No word of a lie. I mean, I was going to do a video, but I was going to go and just talk about the latest and what's happened and debunk even more PR. But then I remembered, I'm like, hang on, today's Thursday, right? Tomorrow's Friday, right? We're playing tomorrow. So I've got to do a preview. And it's a preview that's basically, this is basically a replica to my last preview because we're playing the same team at the same ground with the same players. And we lost that last one. So we got to go over there and somehow turn that one around. I don't even know how to maneuver my way through this preview for you guys. But the one tried and tested way that always works is to speak from here. That always works. Look within and you'll find what to say. So I'm just going to tell you guys how I feel. I saw Matisse earlier on mentioned on All You Can Eat saying that he's not doing previews anymore. and to be honest, I don't blame him. For that, I actually don't blame him at all. Because the constant PR, which I'm happy to call out, and I'm happy to talk about it. And like he mentioned, which for some people is the case, don't get me wrong. The constant, what's the word I'm looking for here? I got to think about this. The constant, not anger, nah, not worry. I'm looking for a word. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, yeah? Just constantly having to give attention to the nonsense that we're hearing and the nonsense that we keep seeing. For many people, that can start to play up here, right? And mentally, people will be like, look, I can't, and I don't want to. And that's fine, I get it. For me, nah, I got loads of fuel in the tank. I can go on for days. I can go on for weeks. I can go on for months, yeah? Honestly, I actually could. I'm very hard to break. I'm very hard to break. Hence why I'm happy to come every single video and just call it for what it actually is. And I've got the energy for it. I've been doing this for well over a decade. I think I know my way around. So I've got the skin and I've got the mental capacity to be able to deal with it. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's funny because we're in a situation right now with Chelsea Football Club where we've not been in this situation before. Yeah? We've not seen the club being run in this sort of way ever. You can argue that the club has been in a mediocre position before, but I would argue under very different circumstances. If we're talking Chelsea back in the 80s, for example, yeah, I mean, there weren't much resource there, was there? You know? I mean, it was Chelsea Football Club, yes, but it wasn't blockbuster, world beater, one of the elite teams. Like, no, they were a decent side without too much resource, yeah? And after the whole Save the Bridge thing and after the whole money issues that it once had, at that time, yeah, if you're mediocre, you'd understand, because you can only have what you have, you can only do what you do, and, you know, you can only run on what you've got. So the situation now that we're seeing after being right in this situation right now, after having spent 1.5 billion, and after 3 long years of just nonsense, this is a very unique time. Now, I used to rant from time to time, and that was back when we were good. I say good, but when there was one issue to focus on and go in on, like AVB getting sacked, yeah, I went hard on that one, yeah. And to be honest, like over time, I've kind of come to, I wouldn't say appreciate, but I look at AVB now and I smile, you know. Technically, he's part of reason why I'm even here in the first place. So big up AVB. And I remember wanting Jose back, and then he did arrive and he did come back, and I was super happy. And then we won the league and all that. Yeah. Conte, yeah, when that went south and whatnot, and I was having a few things to say about our transfer window, in the window where we got Rudiger and we got Giroud. Do you remember? We also got, who did we get? Zappacosta. And we were linked with, there was one window we were linked with Andy Carroll, Ashley Barnes. Now, this is a great example, because back then we were linked with Andy Carroll, Ashley Barnes, who else? There was one other guy. I think there was one other guy. I forgot who it was. Was it Peter Crouch? At one point, I think we were linked with Crouch, but I think that might have been Waffle. But I remember looking at that window and going, guys, what's going on? Like, come on, we're better than this, because we were. That was the only real time that I had to complain about a transfer window or about circumstances under Roman, right? This is a time where there's genuine worry and genuine concern and genuine doubt of things turning in the way that we want it to turn into in order to win. We are now looking at this from a complete different lens, that this is money-based, this isn't footballing-based, this is not going to end, this is going to continue, this model is only for profits, and we're not going anywhere running like this. So, because of the longevity, I'm able to constantly keep talking about this, no problem, because I know I am talking for what is the greater good, which is Chelsea Football Club. I want to see my club back at its best. And right now, in my eyes, we are being restricted by our own owners. That's the whole point. So for the cause, when I got something to fight for, I can go on for years. It's not a problem. So I'm here. So off the back of that 2-1 loss to Brighton, I'm now looking at this game tomorrow and I'm telling you honestly, I don't feel good about this, guys. I don't feel good one bit. We're worse off. This might not end well. We're going into this game basically with the same players. Albeit, I mentioned this yesterday in terms of Reece James. Reece James was in training today. That was pictured and photographed and all of that, so cool. I'll give the benefit of the doubt for that one. But do I think he's 100% match fit? We will see. We'll see if he's involved tomorrow, if he's going to start, or if he'll be off the bench. We'll analyse it after it's all said and done. Like I've said before, we know that hindsight is a beautiful thing. So we'll see. Apart from him, everything else is the same. Jorgensen in goal. Sanchez is now officially dropped as number one. It's funny that, because not long ago, we were being told that Maresca, I believe in him, the club believes in him, he has all the tools to be world class, we were told not long ago, just weeks ago, we were told that. And then it got to a ridiculous level, which I think all of us saw coming, because all of us have been complaining about Sanchez. I'm not just talking about YouTubers, I'm talking about all of you, even you in the comments. All of us collectively, we've all, no matter where you stand on whatever spectrum, one thing that I know the entire fan base agreed on is, this Sanchez guy is insane. Yeah? For ages, we've all wanted him dropped, or at the bare minimum, or gone. Basically gone out of the football club. Only after so much pressure and hysteria in the fan base does Maresca now come on and tell us, I had a word with him. Jorgensen is number one. Took you a while, mate. Realistically, Sanchez shouldn't have ever been number one. Realistically, Petrovic shouldn't have gone anywhere, if we're being honest with ourselves. But Petrovic will be sold, and we've got another 9 goalkeepers lined up, or whatever it is, which just goes to show you how we're running. But Sanchez won't play, so it's Jorgensen again, and it's the same players that are available. So going into this game, Actually, before I mention that, like I said, I'm talking from the heart on this one, so it might seem choppy, but stay with me. Maresca in that press conference said something pretty ludicrous. I have to address this because this was insane. This was absolutely insane. Saying, the club didn't tell me that it was an aim to get top 4 this season. It's an aim for next season. Oh. Next season. Okay. So we're pushing the goalposts again. So this season is it's a fugazi. It's a waffle. It's a waste of time. So just on the weekend, last weekend that went by, Maresca himself told us the one positive of being knocked out the FA Cup, which was a sackable comment. The one positive of being knocked out the FA Cup is we get to focus on the Premier League and the Conference League. And then today he comes out and says that, no, top 4 is not the aim. So what is it we're exactly fighting for in the Premier League then? Nothing? So whatever happens, happens. Yeah? If we finish 8th, it's fine. Top 4 is meant to come next season. So why are we accepting getting knocked out the FA Cup in the way that we did then? Because if Premier League doesn't really matter, then why did we throw that away in the way that we did? Because we were shocking. Pathetic. And we try and excuse it with, oh, but we've got the Premier League to think about. But then when you talk about the Premier League, oh no, but we don't need top 4. It's not the aim, that's the aim for next year. What? This is the contradiction, the PR, and the ridiculous nonsense that it doesn't want to go through my head. It doesn't want to go through my head. And it won't go through my head because it doesn't make sense. 3 years into this ownership, and we are still excusing not being in the top 4? Top 4. When we had, let's be honest, a top 4 and Champions League winning team that was there. Ready. These lot threw everything, everyone, their mothers and their dogs out and flipped it all. And 3 years in, we're in this situation and what? We're not going to question the model? We're not going to question the decisions? We're not going to question what these owners are doing? Of course we are. Because once again, the goalposts are being moved. And Maresca is happy to just go along with it. And this is my issue with him, is this. Because as a coach, does he have good things? Yes. But we got to start, even as a fan base, we got to start operating ourselves on a level again, man. We have slipped so far down as what we expect in a fan base now. It's getting embarrassing because more and more we're just accepting and accepting and accepting. There needs to be a limit. There needs to be a boundary where we go, no, we're not accepting this. End of story. Do what you got to do, but this is not good enough and we're not happy. That's it. That is it. Portray your dissatisfaction. Show it. Because the one thing that I know for sure is these owners care about their image and they care about PR. So much so, they're willing to go through so much PR to dupe the fan base into thinking what they want us to think. That tells you how much they actually invest and care about their public image. So how about we flip it and show them, listen, no matter what you keep throwing, stop moving the goalposts. We're not happy. As far as I'm concerned, I want them gone. So at least, at the bare minimum, show your dissatisfaction of what is this? What is this? The fact that we've spent this much money and we've had this much time and we're going into this game after having been knocked out in the 4th round of the FA Cup by Brighton in the way that we did, we're now going into another Brighton game without a recognised striker, with an experimental goalkeeper, with defenders that are going to leak. How do you expect people to be happy with that, man? How? This is why for tomorrow, I am genuinely going into this in two minds. In two minds, and one of those minds applies to Brighton. I'm going into this thinking psychologically we're going to be shot because we're going back to the same ground that we were at just days ago where we were embarrassed and played off the park by the very same Brighton team. And we've got the same players and same problems, and we're going there again. Psychologically, these are all young players. You see, if we had some experience in this team, I wouldn't be so concerned. But I have to be concerned on this point because we know mentally it's going to be a problem. I know for a fact there's going to be some of these players that are going to already be psychologically defeated before they even step onto the pitch. They're in the tunnel and they're like, oh crap, here we go again. I know that for a fact. Fact. And then there might be players that get to that point maybe later on in the game, depending on how their mental framework works. But at the same time, and this is where my other side of mind is coming in, I'm looking at Brighton, and I do have a feeling, and this is what might work in our favour. Might, I stress, might. Pay attention to this. Because at the end of the day, we're not playing Liverpool. We're not playing Man City, who have big personalities. We're playing Brighton, right? And Brighton are in the position they're in because it's Brighton, right? So even Brighton, even though they beat us in the way that they did, but they can be susceptible to this. I wouldn't be surprised if a few of their players, or maybe even during the game, before or during the game, will have the opposite of us. They'll come into this game relaxed. Maybe too relaxed. Even maybe the game starts off and they feel like they got the upper hand and they're like, lads, it's happening again. We got this. And if they get a bit complacent, that's where mistakes can be made, and that's where we should have opportunity to capitalize. That, I'm looking at the two extremes here. Brighton being complacent and Chelsea being shook. And like, crap, again, like, because it's so soon. We just came from that ground and now we're heading back there. I bet even on the trip to Brighton, the same route, the same way, the same bus, the same everything, players are going, oh crap, we're going there again. I know that for a fact. So it's about the reaction on the pitch, and it's about how the game is going to start, going into the halfway mark, where's the game going to be at? And then we'll get our answer. But the problem that Chelsea have right now is we don't have the resources. We don't have the tools. We rely so much on just trying to score goals, right? Well, we ain't going to get that. But we're still leaking at the back, aren't we? So this is where I'm looking, I'm going, I'm going in tomorrow with no hope. No hope. No hope from Chelsea's perspective. Some hope from Brighton's perspective. Because like I said, I'm waiting for Brighton to maybe make a mistake. And we better be there to sweep up, because if not, we ain't winning. It's as simple as that. Where's the goals going to come from? Tell me. Who are we playing up front, by the way? Nkunku again? Yeah, we ain't got a choice. I don't expect anything from Nkunku up top, because Nkunku up top isn't going to be the player that... And I guess this is the one positive that Jackson did bring, is that he's very involved in trying to win the ball up the pitch, and he's very involved in trying to interrupt the pattern of play in the build-up for the opposing team. You know, he presses hard, he runs, he's got energy. The fact that we are actually saying that's the one good point that our number one striker has after having spent 1.5 billion tells you where we're at. It's disgraceful, right? But we haven't even got that. So Nkunku is a sort of player where everything needs to come to feet. If he has everything that comes to feet, at that point he might be able to create something. If he's not got ball to feet, yeah, he ain't getting onto it. So what are we going to do tomorrow? Changing the shape, changing the system, changing the formation, changing the players. But what? To what? I don't know. One thing's for sure, Nkunku has to play up top and Palmer has to play behind him, because there's no other way that we can play tomorrow. You can't stick Palmer away because there's no one to come in. Felix is gone. Chukwuemeka is gone. There's no one to fill in the 10. You'd say Nkunku, but then who plays up front? No one. Who's got what? Maresca even said that we might play a winger up top. We might play Sancho up front. We might play Neto up front. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. It's gone left. It's gone left, guys. It's gone left. So there's that. That's my one issue. Where's the goal going to come from? But in terms of leaking, defense, the shape, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Now, we'll see in terms of the midfield tomorrow that might be able to help. The one thing that might be able to help is Caicedo, Enzo back together and not Dewsbury Hall filling in. So we'll see. Apart from that, though, God knows. I genuinely do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm honestly looking at this, I'm going, I have no idea how this is going to pan out. So much so, I can't even give you a solid prediction. I tell you what, my prediction, because I'm so 50-50, I'll go 1-1. But do I honestly see Chelsea winning? It's going to have to need a little bit of a miracle. But at the same time, do I see Brighton not being as efficient as they were in the cup tie? A little bit. That's why I don't know what way it's going to go. I genuinely don't know what way it's going to go. But I'm not feeling good. That's for sure. I'm not feeling good going into this. So we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, for me, it's like I said, results as far as I'm concerned right now isn't... Not that it doesn't matter, but I'm not expecting miracles here. From this point onwards, I'm not expecting miracles. And because I'm not expecting miracles, I've got my eyes on bigger problems, which is the way the club's being run. Because as far as that continues, as long as that continues, we're going nowhere anyway. That's the whole problem here. So, will we pick up a win at some point? Of course. I don't expect Chelsea to go winless until the end of the season. No. But, win, lose or draw, right now, there's genuinely bigger fish to fry. And that's the ownership. So that's where I'm at. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I will catch all of you tomorrow after it's all said and done. And we'll see what happens. All I ask is to pray. And say, inshallah, that we come out of it with something good. Because that's all we can do at this point. Just pray. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. Look after yourself. Subscribe, notification bell on. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.